Hey everybody, welcome back to day 3 of the room revamp. As you will see, there were a few ups and downs, like any project.
Here we see the builder, optimistic, moments before disappointment. In the wild, the circular saw often refuses to work when observed.
These cuts should have taken 3 seconds, so naturally I used the jigsaw and made it 3 business days. I cut these 2 pieces first, and now I'm confirming the measurements for the remaining cuts. Now that all the pieces are cut, we can mark where the screws need to go. The screws I had were a bit short, so I countersink them to get a solid, tight hold. Now that all the pieces are cut and marked, we can start assembling the skylight frame.
In the wild, unaware of what was about to happen, he had already cut 2 pieces that weren't supposed to be cut. Here the builder encounters a minor setback. Fortunately, it is easily resolved by replacing 2 pieces.
Next, I marked the screws locations on the new pieces of wood.
At this point, the focus shifts from frustration to problem solving. The mistake is clear, and so is the solution. There's a brief pause, not to dwell on what went wrong, but to adjust and move forward. In the wild, adaptation is often the difference between progress and failure. With cautious optimism, the builder proceeds with the build. Here, the builder begins the process of cutting and reshaping the beam to better suit its environment. Material is carefully removed. The beam is ready to be integrated into the build. In the wild, even the smallest changes play a role in long-term survival. With the beam almost reshaped, the structure begins to accommodate its new form. Each adjustment brings the opening closer to balance, allowing the skylight frame to settle into place. Progress resumes quietly, guided by patience and precision. In the wild, stability is restored, not through force, but through adaptation. In order to adapt to its environment, the beam is carefully reshaped. The change allows the structure to continue evolving. With the adjustment complete, the skylight frame can now be set into place. What began as a rigid form slowly adapts, making room for something new. In the wild, progress often depends on the ability to adjust rather than resist. With the beam reshaped, the skylight frame fits seamlessly into its habitat. Before installation, the frame itself requires a few subtle adjustments to ensure a clean, natural fit that structure adapts, making space for light to enter as intended. What was once rigid now accommodates change, allowing the build to continue forward. In the wild, progress is rarely perfect, but through careful adjustment, balance is restored. With the installation complete, the environment begins to settle. Scattered and active are gradually gathered and returned to rest. The workspace, shaped by hours of movement and adaptation, slowly returns to order. In the wild, this ritual marks the end of activity, a signal that the task has been completed. With the tools gathered, the builder begins the final migration, carrying the equipment back inside. The workspace, now quiet, reflects the work that has been done. The engine of the project is in place, and the structure is ready to move into its next phase. In the wild, this moment signals the promise of what comes next.